Hello and welcome to the Gate series. We're talking about gate 12 today. This is the gate of caution. You can find this gate in the throat center where it is circled with a big arrow pointing to it on the human design body graph here. This gate is in the channel of openness, and it is in the individual circuitry of the human design body graph and in the knowing circuitry. The gate of caution is also called the hexagram of standstill in the Chinese I Ching. Known by another name in the gene keys, this is the key 12, or the 12th key, entitled A Pure Heart. The gate 12 is part of the channel 1222, and it connects that whole channel goes from the throat into the emotional solar plexus. This gate is about having a design of a social being. It is one of the 3 gates of aloneness in the chart. And I find that interesting because it is part of a channel that is about socialization and language. Yet, the gate 12's function is really to learn how to speak at the right time and to understand the difference between just speaking words and the frequency and tone of your words. Your mood will always influence the expression from this gate. This gate is all about emotional expression and falling in love. Actually, the act of falling in love. The gate 12 is about becoming discerning in our words and our expression. The shadow expression of this gate, which is the lower frequency expression, is vanity. And vanity is kind of a tricky thing because there's a trajectory or a path of evolution that all of us follow as humans to some degree or another. And we can really get swept up in the shadow of this. Its shadow is about learning to love yourself, which sounds wonderful, right? But true love of self is when we are able to accept and love ourselves so much that we come to a place of humility in all of our flaws and imperfections. And now we can have the same love for others and radical acceptance. So as we evolve, and I have fallen into this trap before, we can feel very spiritually aware and awake. And then somehow there's like a sneaky narrative that makes its way into our psyche that we're now better than, or we know better. And it could be like, I've done this work on myself. Like I've done so much work on myself. So I'm like more evolved. So let's look at how the repressive and reactive expressions of the shadow frequency of the gate 12 manifest. The shadow of gate 12 manifests as the elitist. So that's just like what I was speaking about. We may feel very evolved and maybe that we're better than, but we would never say that like out loud. We have done a lot of work on ourselves. We feel, we've made a lot of progress. And this isn't to like deny the progress that we've made and the healing that we've experienced and to minimize that work. But when we start to somehow feel better or different or special or unique in the sense that we're better than, that's where the repressive aspect of the shadow comes in. And the reactive expression of the shadow of which is vanity, is malicious, and that's rooted in anger, which underneath that is always fear, or hurt feelings. And we can hurt people in the reactive expression of vanity when because this gate is rooted in language and being able to be very articulate with our words and be loaded with emotions. In the reactive expression, we can really use our words to deeply hurt people. Now let's move on to the gift. The gift of gate 12, or the 12th gene key, is discrimination. I'm going to read you a quote from Richard Rudd. You take your vanity, the urge to somehow be better or purer than others, and you turn it into art. The 12th gift is deeply associated with the arts, with music, language, dance, drama, and above all, with love. The gift expression and frequency of discrimination is able to detect and deeply fall in love with the authenticity and pure self-expression. This gift also allows us to know when someone is not authentic. People with this gate activation and are operating in the gift frequency of discrimination can be amazing artists, performers, and even critics of all kinds, because they just have the frequency of true, pure discrimination. So I'm curious, how can you see this gate operating in your life? Do you relate to the shadow expression where you sometimes secretly feel better than others? Or are you more tapped into and tuned into the gift frequency where you are enjoying the expression of and the appreciation of art and authenticity? I would love to know in the comments below.